What you're about to watch is a video from an actual 8th grade class in Fairfax County, Virginia. Now, Fairfax County, Virginia is important because it is a county that has brought in Ibram X. Kendi, the author of How to Be an Anti-Racist, in to do training in teachers across the county and are actually rolling out curriculum in all schools in the county, which you will hear the teacher directly tell the students. Now, a few quick things before we get started. Number one, I want to send a great big thank you to the 8th grade student who had the presence of mind to record this class and who wanted to make sure the world saw what they were learning. Yes, this video didn't come from a disgruntled parent. This video came from the 8th grade student in the class who knows exactly what they're seeing, who knows exactly what they're being taught because they watch channels like mine on YouTube. And so they knew what to look for. And so thank you to this student for your bravery, showing more bravery than many adults who will not stand up against this nonsense. That's first and foremost, number one. Number two, the class uses several YouTube videos throughout the course of instruction. Now, I'm going to be editing out those videos in the class that you're going to watch here, but I'm going to try to find them to link them in the description below. I do think it's important that you see them, but to be quite frank, I don't want to set my channel up to get like a copyright strike or anything like that. I don't want to give them any excuse to be able to mess with my channel beyond what they're already doing. So that's number two. I will edit those videos out. I'm not editing out anything the teacher says. I'm not editing out any interaction with the student or any of the slides that the teacher is using. I am simply editing out third-party YouTube videos that the teacher is using to illustrate different points in the class, but I will do my very best to find those videos for you and put them in the description below. Number three, the only edit that I made to the video that you're about to see was to mask the names of the other students in the class because they didn't ask for this and their names do not need to be out there. So you will see that I have masked their names, but beyond that, there is no other editing that is taking place to the recording that I received of this class. So I encourage you to watch it and to really think about how the schools are indoctrinating kids into this ideology, because what they do is they start out with something good, like a quote from the Pledge of Allegiance, and they say, you like this quote from the Pledge of Allegiance, don't you? And then they do small little progressions to say, well, if you like this quote from the Pledge of Allegiance, then you should favor equity. And you have to be a good, you want to be a good person, don't you? That's why you want to support equity. So you're going to see this play out in this class right in front of you. 1 30-minute class. All right, let's get started.
Yes, the end of the Pledge of Allegiance. That's one of the places we hear that word and those words, and justice for all. Everyone should be equal. No one deserves less than someone else. Okay. Just going to read a few of these. Equality for everyone. Hear those words when we say the pledge. Equality and justice for everyone. Okay, so it looks like everyone has the same ideas. And so everyone can connect and has heard of the Pledge of Allegiance and those words and justice for all. So justice is defined as behaving in a way that is fair, equal, inclusive, and balanced for everyone. All right. In this slide, I'd like for you to, it says, what does injustice look like? Draw a picture or write, excuse me, write a short poem that represents injustice. So you have a choice. Draw a picture or you can write a short
The Pledge
poem
of Allegiance
that represents injustice. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me change the slide for you. Hold on 1 second. Whoops, sorry. Didn't want to play that. Give me 1 second to. Give me 1 second. Let me see something. Drawing. That wasn't right. I apologize. Okay, so you can, if you have a piece of paper, just draw on your own paper and maybe you can share that in just a few minutes. Okay, you can draw on your own paper or write on your own paper. Let's try that today. On your own paper, draw what injustice looks like, or you can write your poem on your own paper. Go ahead and do that, please. Or you may do that. So in this KWL, about justice or injustice, what do you know? What do you want to know? And then we'll do what you've learned later. So just put 1 or 2 bullets in each space for what you know and what you want to know. Okay. Okay, so we're not putting in anything that we've learned because what you've learned is already what you know. You haven't learned anything new today, so we're not putting in anything that we learned today. Okay, just put in what you know. Okay, someone says that Black people are killed more than white people. Injustice is a violation of someone's rights, and that justice is a belief that should people should get what they deserve. Justice for all line was added in the pledge. Wow. There are things happening that exclude justice. Yes, justice is equality and not discriminating. Okay, so you guys know the definition of justice. You guys have heard this before. Someone even mentioned there's white privilege. All right. Okay, we're going to move on to the next slide. Justice. Think about following the following, then answer these questions. When you heard the word justice, what do you think of? What does justice mean to you? We already answered that, so you don't have to answer that again. Okay, we already answered that. What does it mean to be privileged? How does privilege relate to justice? Let's look at these pictures and have some discussion. What do you see here in this first image? Anybody want to share? Anybody want to share? What do you see in this first image? You can just share out. You don't have to type anything. Anybody want to have a discussion? What's happening in this one? One with the baby with the apple, with the MacBook, and then you have the child who's hungry. What does it mean to be privileged? How does privilege relate to justice? That's what we're having a discussion about. All right, and so in this lower one, the girl it has lots of obstacles. Now she has the same distance to run or to make it to the finish line, but she has more obstacles than this person right here. Okay, and what about this one? We talk about equity and being equal. Um, so um, let's just say you had two people who are hungry, right? If you have two people who are hungry and you possibly could give both persons, say you can give them um, a Big Mac. You can give each of them a Big Mac. Does that necessarily mean that that was equal because you gave two people a Big Mac, the same Big Mac? Does that make it equal because you gave two hungry people a Big Mac? Can somebody type in the chat? What do you think about that? Give two hungry people two Big Macs. Is that equal? That is equality? Yes, you think so? Okay, so what if one person gets full off of the Big Mac and the other person doesn't get full? Is it still equality? You think that's still equal just because you gave two people the same thing? Okay, so look at this one right here with equality with the people on the boxes. So we gave each person here the same size box. Does that make it equal for everyone in the picture in that one? No, just because you give people the same thing doesn't make it equal. You have to give them what they need to be equal. Okay, yes. Yes. This is equality. that you're giving them the same thing, but it's not equity. All right. So is it the first picture shows equality? Yes. Yes. But is that fair? Is it fair? Is that equality fair? Us giving the two people the Big Macs, is that fair? That's what this means. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for being observant and noticing. All right, let's go on to the next one. So, your privilege is based on your education, income, your sex, your race, your age, your ability, your language. All of those things affect your privilege and whether you receive justice in the United States. All right, privilege, advantages, benefits, or degrees of prestige and respect. All right, let's watch this video. Okay, I want to make sure. Can you guys see this? Okay, let's see. Can you guys see that video? Hold on, let me change something.
A simple, powerful exercise.
This is Jamal. Jamal, which means that we all have a role to play in making it better. Peace.
Studied in 7th grade history or 8th grade civics so far about injustices or the justice system? You guys haven't studied about this yet? Not really? Okay. So is this the first time you've heard about racism? No? Okay. All right. So for the rest of this unit, this unit was developed by Fairfax County Public Schools, and all of the English teachers in the county, all of the 8th grade English teachers in the county are all teaching reading and writing via this idea of justice or social injustice. So this is happening all across the county. It's part of our curriculum for English. All right, so we're going to skip this. So social injustice, we'll look at this one. So let's go back one. All members of society should be treated equally and fairly. So some of you talked about the picture with the people with the boxes. So it showed one was equal and the other one was fair. So equal and equity. That's what we're looking at. So social injustice is discrimination based on religion, race, gender, all of these things. And it's lacking adequate access to healthcare, education, resources, and so forth. So we'll look at some other videos later. All right, right now we're going to watch the Brown versus Board of Education video. And once we watch that, then we'll go on to some other parts of our lesson that we were talking about, like with prepositions. So let's just give me 1 second. Let me change the
discriminatory voting restrictions. For more information on this and many other important court cases throughout history, be sure to check out the other videos in our
with me as I go through the slides today. I am toggling between the different links, so thank you for being patient. We've seen the Brown versus Board of Education video. On your own, you will go to Quizlet. I will post this in our Google Classroom to look at the vocabulary associated with Brown versus Board of Education. All right, we're going to look at the vocabulary. All right, so summarize what you've learned about justice and what you would like to learn about justice. So just to let you know, everything we do in class is helping you to prepare for something else. Our English class is cumulative, so what we've done since the beginning of the year is still applicable and affects the rest of your year. So we're still working on summarizing, which that's something that we've been practicing for the last couple of weeks, especially while you're working on your projects. You're supposed to be summarizing information that you gathered from the sources, but also this social justice unit is preparing you for the unit project, which will start third quarter, and the project will be about you researching a person who has experienced some injustice and has overcome the obstacles. So that's going to be, it's called, that project is called Overcoming Obstacles. So as we're preparing today and learning today, you are preparing yourself for that project. Okay. Thank you all who have responded to the summary about about justice. Thank you for responding. All right, if you need to take a stretch break, let's go ahead and do that for about 5 minutes. Take a stretch break.